The Judgment Day is holding all of the gold. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Burning Hammer. In this video, I will be giving you my match card grade for WWE Payback. But before we get into that, make sure to follow the Burning Hammer on our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at The Burnt Hammer. That is the best way to get our immediate and initial reactions to anything and everything in the world of professional wrestling. And you can follow us on everything else at The Burning Hammer. That is the best way to stay up to date with when we release new episodes to our YouTube channel and new episodes of the podcast. You can listen to the Burning Hammer podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Plus, you can watch it on YouTube at The Burning Hammer. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying wrestling content. We are the entertainment side of sports entertainment. We do sketches, we do fantasy booking, you name it, we do it. Head over to The Burning Hammer on anything and everything, and make sure to follow us for a ton of really good wrestling content. With that being said, let's get started with these grades. And the first match to kick us off is going to be Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in a steel cage match. I'm giving this match an A. This was probably the best match of the night, and it really just goes to show like how truly incredible Trish and Becky are, because a lot of people were done with this feud. A lot of people just wanted this feud to end. This feud got a little disrespected because they had their match in Canada on Monday Night Raw instead of at a premium live event, and they went in there and they tore the house down. This match was awesome, and you talk about a way to kick off Payback. You talk about a way to set the tone for a premium live event. There is no better way to do it than Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage. Becky got the win, as she should, plus Zoe Stark turned on Trish. She ended her friendship with her, and I am interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about Zoe and Trish coming to an end? I personally don't mind it. I don't know if it was the right call or not. We're going to have to wait and see to find out if it was or if it wasn't. That being said, I think just pairing her with Trish really did a lot for her, and I think like her turning on her was just like her graduating from the school of Trish Stratus, her moving on, her getting established and saying, I don't need you anymore. I've already established myself as a beast. And so I'm very excited to see what Zoe Stark does in the future. And my goodness, what a way to kick off WWE Payback. Following that, John Cena, the host of Payback. Not much of a host if you ask me, but that is something I will get into in a little bit. But John Cena came out, he was just cut a little promo, and then The Miz came out, and my goodness, The Miz. Can we please just give this man his damn flowers? The only two-time Grand Slam champion in WWE, one of the most consistent, one of the most hardworking guys ever in WWE. You put him in a ring with anybody and you will be entertained. Him and Cena had a great segment prior to The Miz taking on LA Knight. I mean, you dress... You're 50 years old and you dress like a damn Teletubby. I mean, The Miz is one of the few people that can go toe-to-toe with John Cena on the mic. The only thing I wish that we got with this segment was a promo from LA Knight, but I don't think, it definitely didn't hurt it. I just wish we would have gotten it, because I think LA Knight, I think he can go toe-to-toe with The Miz. I don't know if he can go toe-to-toe with John Cena quite yet, but I would have loved to see an interaction between the three of them. But for the match, this match was decent. I'm not going to say that it definitely wasn't the best match of the night. Definitely wasn't bad, but it was everything that I expected it to be. And so I'm going to give this match a B. Now, something that I should have said from the start, my scoring system for this is an average match is going to be a C. So anything that I don't think was a great match is going to get below a C. Like a C plus was just slightly above average. B was decent match. So that's sort of just like the parameters of my grading system. C is average. So I think this one was pretty above average, but it definitely didn't hit that great territory. But I think this is going to be a start of a great feud. I'm really excited to see where this feud goes. We got some great moments between John Cena and LA Knight during this match, and that's something that I really did enjoy. LA Knight didn't back down from Cena. Cena got a little too physical with LA Knight, but LA Knight did not hesitate to get into his face. Plus, after the match, after LA Knight won, when they were at the entranceway, him and Cena shook hands, sort of like almost a passing of the torch, like we saw The Rock do with Cena following their match. And then I really did enjoy John Cena shaking his hand and then just saying, "It's your moment." And then he just left as quickly as he could to give LA Knight his moment, which is always great to see. Cena is one of the most unselfish guys in the business, but this match was good, and I'm really excited to see where this goes, especially because I think they're going to throw John Cena in the mix, and I think there's a chance we could get a triple threat match at Fastlane with these three guys. So I'm really excited to see where this feud goes. And I'm excited that the LA Knight push has officially begun. All right, next up, which was probably the most fun match on the card, which was the Steel City Street Fight between your tag team champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, taking on the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and the Prince, Finn Balor. Now this match, my goodness, was this match a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting this match to be, but by God, did it exceed my expectations. When they have a lot of street fights, they don't really, they'll get a little rowdy, but they don't get, insanely rowdy, and I think that this one got insanely rowdy. I mean, Kevin Owens was busted open halfway through the match. There was a ton of really good spots. This match was physical. This match was brutal. They had a lot of really big spots, and they had a great moment with Sami and Kevin Owens with hockey sticks, and they had the Pittsburgh Penguins jerseys on, and this match was just a lot of fun. I mean, this was arguably the second best match on the night. And so I'm giving this match an A because I think it was just as good as Becky versus Trish. You can make the argument it was slightly better. You can make the argument it was slightly worse, and I'm not going to argue with you. But I think it's going to get an A from me. Plus, I'm happy that Judgment Day is holding all of the gold. Finn and Priest, they did win the tag team championships. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that was the right call? The only thing that I'm questioning is the fact that Sami and KO were advertised to defend their tag titles against Indus Sher at the Superstar Spectacle in India. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, but man, I'm a sucker for a faction holding all of the gold, and I think this really helps establish the Judgment Day as a threat. With that being said, they need to debut, they need to reveal, they need to create new tag team championships, but I do like just the picture, the image of them holding two titles. You've got Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank. You've got Dominic and Rhea with their titles. And I think what this also solidifies is that Damian Priest is going to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase for a very long time, which is always a good thing. And I'm just super happy that they're sort of going all in on the Judgment Day, and this really does just establish them as the best faction in the game, so this tag team match gets an A from me. All right, next up is the Women's World Championship match, which was Rhea Ripley taking on Raquel Rodriguez. Now, I'm going to give this match a C+. This match was slightly above average. I wasn't blown away with it. There was a couple of botch, iffy spots, which I don't hold against them. I didn't really see too many people freak out about them, but there were some slip-ups in the match, which is definitely something that slightly affects the grade. So again, I wasn't blown away with it, but I hope this does continue the feud between Rhea and Raquel, because as it stands right now, Raquel is the only credible threat to Rhea, and she's physically also the only threat to Rhea as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if they continue this feud with Raquel, or if now that like you've got Becky Lynch is done with Trish Stratus, maybe Becky will go against Rhea. But I think that there's a chance that Becky Lynch is going to go into a feud with Tiffany Stratton. So I'm not sure. I hope they continue this feud with Raquel and Rhea, because as it stands right now, like I said, Raquel is the only serious threat to Rhea physically and just like build-wise. All right, and in the main event was your WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, which was Seth Rollins defending his title against Shinsuke Nakamura. This one from start to finish was an absolute blast. Both men had a great entrance. They did do one of my big pet peeves in wrestling, which is they had the champion come out first. I can't stand when they do that. With that being said, Shinsuke did have a special entrance, so I'm going to give it a pass for that. That's usually the only time when they really do it, is when they give the challenger a big entrance. Shinsuke had an awesome entrance. Since Shinsuke looked really good in this match as well, I'm going to give this match an A-. Now, I think it was just slightly worse than the tag match and the steel cage match. But if you think this is the best match on the card, I'm not going to blame you. You're getting no argument from me. I think these three really stood far and above from the other matches, and this whole show was a sneaky good pay-per-view. I remember while I was watching it, everyone was freaking out on Twitter because WWE moved the Great Muta to the front row, and everyone thought that Shinsuke was going to win. I was a little convinced. I still thought that Seth was going to win. But as the match stands, I mean, you talk about a match, it was very good. It was a great storytelling match. It had a great pace. Like, I love matches like this where they're a slower pace, they're more methodical. The two wrestlers really plan out every move, and I just think it was overall a really good match. Shinsuke just proves that he is one of the best wrestlers in WWE. Seth Rollins obviously proves that he may be the best wrestler in the world. If you ask me, he's the best all-around wrestler in the world. And this just like goes to show how much talent that WWE truly has. Like, they really called on some of their like up-and-comers or some like other main event wrestlers that don't usually get the spotlight. Guys like Shinsuke, you got guys like The Miz, you got guys like LA Knight, like you got people like Raquel and Rhea. Like, this was WWE being like, hey, some of those like elite wrestlers weren't on the card, but they were just like, listen, we've got a ton of really good wrestlers that can go out there and put on a really good show. Plus, there were a ton of really good wrestlers that weren't even on the card. And like going into this whole show, I thought that like it had the potential to be a really good and a really fun show, and that's exactly what it was. But as the match stands, I mean, you talk about a match, it was very good. It was a great storytelling match. It had a great pace. Like, I love matches like this where they're a slower pace, they're more methodical. The two wrestlers really plan out every move, and I just think it was overall a really good match. Shinsuke just proves that he's one of the best wrestlers in WWE. Seth Rollins obviously proves that he may be the best wrestler in the world. If you ask me, he's the best all-around wrestler in the world. And this just like goes to show how much talent that WWE truly has. Like, they really called on some of their like up-and-comers or some like other main event wrestlers that don't usually get the spotlight. Guys like Shinsuke, you got guys like The Miz, you got guys like LA Knight, like you got people like Raquel and Rhea. Like, this was WWE being like, hey, some of those like elite wrestlers weren't on the card, but they were just like, listen, we've got a ton of really good wrestlers that can go out there and put on a really good show. Plus, there were a ton of really good wrestlers that weren't even on the card. And like going into this whole show, I thought that like it had the potential to be a really good and a really fun show, and that's exactly what it was. With that being said, that's going to wrap up the video. Like I said at the start, make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Burnt Hammer. That is the best way to get our immediate and initial reactions to everything that happens in the world of professional wrestling. And you can follow us on everything else at The Burning Hammer. That's the best way to stay up to date with when we release new videos and when we release new episodes of the podcast. You can listen to The Burning Hammer podcast on Apple, on Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Plus, you can watch it on YouTube. And if you are watching this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell so you never miss a video when it comes out. With that being said, that's going to wrap up the video. We will see you on Monday.